morning and welcome to the On the Go Post Show with your Go Morning team. I'm Danielle Wiggins with Jasmine Monroe, Maureen Kyle, Holly Strano, and Dave Chudowski. And we are covering it all from politics to refreshing those wardrobes. And we first start, though, with a really quick weather update because, Holly, you're tracking rain and snow. We want people to be prepared if they have to leave the house.
Well, especially after sunshine and 47 yesterday, right?
Right.
So it is a little slick in spots this morning. But here's the great news. Once we get past the next couple of hours, we are going to see a mix of clouds and sun again and back in the 40s. A lot of you are close to 40 right now. That's why we've got the combo going on. So allow that extra time. And then hopefully you have a moment to step outdoors at some point today because we're back to reality this weekend.
Yesterday was so beautiful, Holly.
47, yeah.
And speaking of back to reality, we are also back to reality to making sure that we cover all the politics that is topping the political stories, topping headlines this morning. And Mo, you're on top of the impeachment and the latest in that process.
Yeah, and while we were here yesterday, we talked a little bit about, the phase that was going through the House. And I don't know about you. I mean, I watched a lot of it, it was a fascinating process to watch the leaders get up, give their take on why the president should be impeached or why he shouldn't. So we saw our congressmen and women vote. And of course, they voted for impeachment in the House. So just in case you aren't well versed on impeachment, that was phase one. So they did impeach him. So now it goes to the Senate, and that's where we're going to see more of the trial to see if he can be basically convicted on those charges. So another big thing, is up to Senator Mitch McConnell to maybe call back the Senate to rush a trial before inauguration. He says he is not going to do that. So what we're going to see is once senators get back in, that would be after inauguration day, that's when they would take it up. A big story on our website right now is a verify. We do these verify stories about, is it true? Is it not true? And a lot of people are asking, would impeachment mean that President Trump is stripped of his benefits? And the benefits are things like a pension, a $200,000 pension, a travel fund, or any of the other benefits that former presidents get. And so there were a couple of political science professors that weighed in on this. And to summarize it, and you can go read it for yourself, the impeachment alone, the second impeachment, which is historic. We have never had a president impeached twice. And 2 out of the 4 impeachments in American history now belong to President Donald Trump. So 50% of them. So that's just historic in of itself. But the impeachment does not exactly mean he's going to lose his benefits. We're going to have to wait and see is what it seems like. These experts are saying that it's really up to what the Senate decides. If the Senate convicts him in any way, that's where you can see some of the benefits start to be stripped, like the pension, like the travel fund, sort of the extra expenses here. They all agree, though, the one thing that will not be able to be stripped, and of course, this is all up to Senate again, is his security. So every former president, vice president, they have the security detail. That's part of the deal that cannot be stripped away. So
lifetime security, correct? Lifetime security.
Yes, lifetime security. So you'll see Secret Service with a former president for the rest of his life, and so that would not be stripped away. So these are all things that we're going to have to wait and see to see what the Senate decides, what kind of, if they convict President Trump of this charge, what's the punishment? That's all yet to be seen.
Yeah, but as you said, it was past the House yesterday where they all voted, and it was 232 to 197 in favor of impeachment. And we do have a local politician, Dave, who voted for impeachment. You would think that the last time President Trump was impeached, they were voting on party lines. But now some Republicans, 10 of them, have switched over per se and voted for impeachment. You have more on that.
broke the party lines, Danielle, and Anthony Gonzalez is who you're talking about, and you might know him well. Went to St. Ignatius, went to Ohio State, played football, well-known name. And as you mentioned last time, they went right down party lines. Okay, this time you have 10 Republicans that broke the party lines and voted in favor of impeachment. And Gonzalez, one of those 10, one from Wyoming, New York, Illinois, among others. I'm not going to name them all, but let me read the statement here from Anthony Gonzalez, released in part. Okay, this is in part from Gonzalez. The President of the United States helped organize and incite a mob that attacked the United States Congress. He went on to say, when I consider the full scope of events leading up to January 6th, including the president's lack of response as the United States Capitol was under attack, I am compelled to support the impeachment. On the other hand, we have Republican Representative Jim Jordan, who represents Ohio's 4th District, including Elyria. He stood behind the president. Maureen already mentioned what Mitch McConnell had said, at least as now, would not agree to emergency powers to bring the Senate back into session before January 19th. So one other thing I wanted to note too is President Trump hasn't addressed the impeachment, but did release a video message condemning the violence at the Capitol. He said there's never justification for violence, no excuses. He also directly appealed to his supporters to refrain from violence and vandalism for the inaugural, for President-elect Joe Biden's inaugural as that approaches next week.
Yeah, on January 20th, and we see that there are a number of National Guard in Washington, D.C. That's another picture that is really getting a lot of traction on our website and social media pages, the National Guard really sleeping at the Capitol. And Steve, Sharika, you guys are going in. Joe, Quetta, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm seeing all of your comments about this contentious and historic story that we are covering. And so continue to put your comments and perspectives in there as long as you keep it cordial.
I feel like I have
to
throw one more thing in here as we're talking about, party lines. I mean, you got to keep in mind here too, that when Senate gets back and it's the new senators, it is 50-50 split, and Vice President Kamala Harris will be the deciding vote. So that's something else that we need to, if they go along party lines.
When they go through to the Senate, because as President-elect Joe Biden says, he wants them to go through with that, but also he has a whole agenda that he wants them to take care of too. So it's going to be a lot of work.
Cabinet members he has to get through, and a whole agenda. The first 100 days of any presidency is setting that tone for the president's agenda. So it'll be wild.
Yeah, let us know what your perspectives are. We love to hear them. And of course, we will stay on top of all of it for you on Go and throughout the day. But we do want to end with some lighter news, because as we've been telling you, we've been doing these refresh stories. So 2021 refresh. And I'm actually going to turn to Jasmine and Mo for this one, because this one this morning was all about refreshing your wardrobe, making sure you're popping for 21. So first, Mo, what was the story about? And Jasmine, I want to hear your perspective of what you think is going to be great for 2021, especially when it comes to shoes, because Jasmine has a pretty extensive collection.
The gist of the story was basically, I had this idea because we've just been in our sweatpants. Like all of my friends, we've just been in sweatshirts, sweatpants. We haven't used our going out clothes. A friend of mine teased me. She's like, you're the only one actually getting dressed for the day, because I do. Even at home, I was popping up on TV. So, I don't know about you, but I've had that urge every January when you go to like clean out the closet and you want to get organized. How can I have the urge to just get a little bit more bolder. And if I'm cleaning out my closet, how can I take style up a notch? So I had two experts. My friend who's a Cleveland lifestyle blogger, Charity D'Amato, she has a knack. Like your style might not be her style, but she is somebody to turn to and look at, somebody who knows her style and just nails it every single time. She's on Instagram. All of her photos are beautiful. Her outfits are gorgeous. They're enviable. And then we always talk to Hallie Abrams, who's a style expert. And they really just both recommend figuring out, the thing that Charity said, and then it was kind of echoed by Hallie Abrams. what store would you want to be? What store? Like if you thought of a store, and right now I am like, I'm not even a store. I am like my dad's hand-me-down. That's what I am.
Not on TV, Mo. Not on TV. You keep it together on TV.
Like I have all these old football t-shirts and they're not
But
even
that's
my
a good
husband.
point. I'm either TV or yoga pants.
Exactly.
Like there's no in between for me, I feel like.
So they gave some great advice. I won't go through all of the advice. You can look at it online, but they just gave some great advice on how to fine tune, like, who are you? What image do you want to portray? And where do you really need to go bold? And where can you still have those basics? And so I don't know. I thought it was fun, but obviously I'm personally interested in it.
Okay, we got 1 more minute left. And Jasmine, I just have to hear your take.
Actually, Maureen, I just watched your story. It's so funny because I don't get a chance to see it because I'm out in the field. But I was just thinking, like, I love Hallie Abrams. She's so great. I think she nails it every time. But the question, like, what store would you be? I'm sitting here thinking, guess what store I am? I'm Giant Eagle. That's what store I am. Because I just got a trainer because I've gained so much weight. It's called Quarantine Thick. It's actually a song now.
All of us, Jasmine.
I mean, have you tried to put on jeans? I literally cannot fit my jeans. And last year,
do you hear me say yoga pants?
Yeah, like last year, I already went up in a size. So I'm like, I bought like 20, not even 20, like I would say like 10 pairs of pants. I'm not buying a new wardrobe again. So I have to lose this weight. So
Jasmine, you needed to catch my other stories about the diet refresh. Which I have taken my own personal advice.
I gotta refresh starting with the diet and then we can get into fashion because my fashion sense is coats now. This is how I can get cute. That's it.
I love it. Jasmine, you nailed it with my store is Giant Eagle. Oh, that is hilarious. Well, we want to just thank all of you for joining us. I see Sherry, Monica, Quetta, Beth, Steve, Eric, thank you. We appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. You can catch Holly, Dave, and Maureen during the Today Show. The rest of us will see you tomorrow morning on Go, starting at 4:30. Have a great Thursday, everybody.
Bye.